Hello, and welcome to Tiffany Teach Tuesday. Today, I'm sharing with you the 5 things that is essential to rent ready units that helps your property shine and attract the best tenants. This can be helpful as well for tenants and owners of real estate. So, before I jump into the deep dive into those 5 rental ready steps, I want to give an introduction again for those who are new to my platform and reintroduce myself to those who have been following me for a while. Who am I? I am Tiffany Watkins, the owner and founder of Art Property Management. I have been doing real estate for 25 years. I've been through 2 major events in this country. One being the 2008 real estate market, and the second being 2000 pandemic. In both of these industries, there were great changes in the real estate market. In the 2008 real estate crash, people were losing their properties left and right. It was subprime loans being for people foreclosing and people calling their loans, and it was just a mess. So I seen that, and a lot of people in real estate didn't make it through that. In the pandemic, a lot of people got into the business because everyone wanted to own a home because we were locked in place. And some people are still pushing through, but the real estate market is really slow. So I have a full service real estate brokerage, and I know a lot about residential real estate. And that's why I'm able to have this platform to tell you the things that I know. So people want to get into the real estate rental business. And the hard part is finding a good quality tenant. And those 5 steps is making sure that your unit is rent ready. And for tenants, you can tell the type of landlord you have based on the condition of the unit when you move into it. So the first thing is, for all owners, you want to make sure that you freshen up the paint in the unit. There shouldn't be any scuffs, any marks. You should have neutral tone colors, because as a tenant moving in, your furniture may be purple or red or green, and it'll look crazy with an orange wall. So that'll turn off a prospective tenant. A tenant may come in and think the place has the great size, the great amenities, but then they like, oh, now they want to paint your walls, and now you're back and forth with, oh, I don't want you to paint, and then they paint, and now you want to charge them for painting it back to the same color. So to ensure that you can accommodate all tenants, make sure your walls are neutral. A neutral color, make it fresh, make it look clean. Deep clean your units, clean the cabinets. Make sure there's no leftover residual from the last tenant. No one wants to move into a unit that look like somebody just lived there yesterday. And I've ran into this because I have had 10 properties that I've gotten from clients. And I have to say to them, I said, listen, ask yourself, if this is all you can afford for rent, would you live here? And anytime my clients pause, I tell them, why would you expect somebody to pay rent and live here if you wouldn't live here? Regardless of what your price point is, off this price point, if that's what they can afford, they should have a fresh, nice, clean place. So have the place deep clean, the baseboards, the vents, the covers. Do it, because at the end of the day, you want your tenant to be happy. And as a person that's renting, you don't want to go move into a place that's not ready. I've had a tenant, I just moved in last at the beginning of November, and I personally wanted to cancel the move because the unit was not ready for the tenant to move in. And the tenant was like, I need to move. I'm moving out of state and I have no other place to go. But for me, I didn't feel it was a representation or reflection of the type of rentals that we like to have on our platform when we're renting to people. Because if I won't live there, I don't think that you should either. So as a tenant, you should be mindful of what the landlord is renting to you. Handling repairs. The owner, you should handle all small issues, makes a big impression. Fixing leaks, making sure every unit has working lights. That is a requirement of mine. I put in every unit, every light needs to work, every outlet needs to be worked, all the light bulbs need to be new. Because, first of all, as the owner, and the most renters don't know this, our responsibility is when you move in that every light fixture, every outlet has bulbs and outlet works. If the bulbs blow, we are not responsible for replacing your bulbs. It is your responsibility to replace your bulbs. Now we'll have maintenance to come and put the bulb in for you if it's too high for you to reach up. But as the tenant, you should make sure that all your lights work. Why would you move into a unit that the lights don't work? I understand a lot of times people have expectations to move in on this particular date. But if the unit isn't in the condition in which you would want to live in, pause and say, look, I can come back later. And especially if it's a lot of major little things that need to be done. Second, for the owners, light updates. Nobody wants to live in a unit. We are in 2025. Your light fixture should not be 1976. I'm just sorry. Like, light fixtures are not that expensive. You can get a box of light fixtures for a flush mount light fixtures for $25. That seems like a lot, but it gives you a lot of return on your investment on the type of tenant that will move into your unit. So take that little investment to get a long-term tenant is important. And I understand the tenants. They want a more modernized place. They spending their money, and rent is not cheap. Fortunately enough, in Chicago, we have the lowest rent rates compared to other metropolitan cities, but we have the highest property taxes. Little do our tenants know. They complain, oh, rent is high, rent is high. We have the highest minimum wage, as well as the highest property taxes and the lowest rents. I tell my tenants all the time, go look in other cities like LA, New York, Texas, Florida. I be trying to wonder how these people even live in. But even if they don't, even though we have the lowest rents, that doesn't still negate the fact that the landlord should make their place a little more modernized. And as for the owner, it's the added advantage for you, because the more you modernize the property, it also allows you to get a better quality tenant. In addition to that, it also increases your property value when you're time to either resell or get the place appraised. Now, this one here goes for rentals as well as sales. The cleanliness and the exterior curb appeal of the property. The interior landscape and exterior of the building needs to be clean. Because, and as a tenant, you live there. If you're in a building, you should pick up behind yourself. You should make sure that your building is clean and decent, because the landlord on a 2, 3, 4 unit building, they're not sending a maintenance person every day to clean up. That's something we'll do in a 40 unit building or a 60 unit building where it's a lot of people have turnover. But those smaller buildings, they send out maintenance once or twice a week to pick up, and it's the resident's responsibility. As I tell people, if you lived in a house, would you let trash just build up in your yard? I hope not. You want to go out and pick up the trash, because that's a reflection of where you live at. Your friends and family come to visit you and it's trash everywhere. And what the owner is charging for rent does not make up for the cost of landscaping and the cost of landscaping and cleaning the halls and things of that nature. And we have to work together as a community. So I hope these tips help. Deep clean the unit, fresh paint, handling small repairs, light updates, and curb appeal is very important for not only the landlords who own the building, but for the tenants when you're looking for a unit. At our company, we do videos of all of our units prior to us putting them on the market and taking you out to see them. There's a live video. If you subscribe to my YouTube page, you will see all of our properties that come on the market. And the way they look in the video is how they look in person, or even better, because sometimes we may go live after we've done the paint, clean the walls, but we haven't done the deep cleaning of the unit. So we like, and these are the properties that we actually market and list ourselves. We do have properties that we manage and we use other real estate brokers to help find tenants for them. And we don't get in on the move-in process until the tenant has been selected, and then we go to the property, and sometimes we find they're not ready and we have to pause the move-in. And that's what I was saying. So we have started working with the brokers, and we have been more due diligent about doing our due diligence and going to see the property before we get through the application process to ensure that it is in ready move-in condition. And that includes fresh paint, curb appeal, deep cleaning. And we go and see some of them. We have to tell the owner that's not going to cut it, and we can send out our team to get it right, or you can send your people back out. But we do need you all to make sure that this place is ready to move in condition, because this is someone's home. This is someone place of peace, and it needs to be nice and functional. Doorknobs need to work, hardware needs to be intact, lights should be working, sink shouldn't be leaking, and things of that nature. If this information was helpful, please like, subscribe, and share our page. And thank you again for always tuning in to Tiffany Teach Tuesday. Oh, I have some comments before I well, oh, people just saying hi. So if you have any comments or anything, you can always leave them in our box. I'll get back to you all and respond. And I really, really appreciate you all's support. And I hope that my information does help you all navigate and move forward in your real estate journey, whether you're owning, renting, investing. I'm here to help to provide you the information. We are in trying times, and things are going to get worse before they get better. And it's going to affect the real estate industry. It's going to hit us hard. And people don't understand that. They're trying to take away Section 8. They're trying to take away the programs that allow people to have home ownership. We're going to start having multi-generational living again. We're going to have companies who own housing and provide housing to their tenants. So again, if this information that I'm providing is useful and helpful to you, share it with your friends. Subscribe to our page so you can see when I'm going live again, as well as the new listings we have available. In addition to, like, if you like, so I know this is the content that you want to hear. Again, thank you for always tuning in to Tiffany Teach Tuesday.